Do you believe that some of the most famous photos in the history of rock and roll hide details that almost no one noticed? Among these 204 rare images, there are moments captured seconds before legendary fights, secret meetings between music stars and behind-the-scenes scenes that were decades away from the public eye. Some of these photographs show rock icons in such unexpected situations that many fans still doubt they are real. And the most impressive of all appears only at the end of this video. Get ready to travel through unique moments that help build the history of rock and roll as we know it today. The sound of an electric guitar echoing through the speakers, crowds singing in unison, and young people finding a new form of expression. Thus began one of the greatest cultural revolutions of the 20th century, American rock and roll. In the 1950s, rock emerged from a mixture of blues, country, and rhythm and blues. It was a song unlike anything that existed until then. Young people embraced this new rhythm, while many adults viewed the genre with suspicion. It was during this time that artists such as Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard transformed American music forever. The 1960s brought even greater changes. Rock became the voice of a generation living in times of social transformation. Giant festivals, cultural movements, and new sonorities have expanded the boundaries of the genre. The bands went on to experiment with deeper instruments, recording techniques, and lyrics, creating songs that remain popular to this day. In the 1970s, rock reached a new level. Striking styles such as hard rock, progressive rock, and arena rock emerged. The shows got bigger, the stages more elaborate, and the performers turned into real superstars. The tours sold out stadiums, and millions of records were sold around the world. The 1980s were marked by flamboyant visuals, music videos, and the growing influence of music television. Powerful guitars, memorable solos, and giant choruses dominated the charts. American rock has become a global phenomenon, influencing fashion, behavior, and popular culture. Already in the 1990s, a new generation took the stage. Grunge and alternative rock brought a more raw and emotional sound. The lyrics began to reflect the restlessness and challenges of the youth of that time, creating one of the most influential movements in recent music history. Over the decades, American rock has not only been a musical genre, it became a symbol of freedom, creativity, and rebelliousness. Each generation has found in him a way to express their dreams, their struggles, and their emotions. And even today, decades after its birth, rock and roll lives on. His songs still echo on radios, movies, stadiums, and playlists around the world, reminding us that some songs just never get old. If you're also passionate about the history of rock and roll, leave your comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more unforgettable trips through the past of music. When we talk about the history of rock, it is impossible not to remember the bands that transformed music and won millions of fans on all continents. His albums sold millions of copies, his concerts gathered gigantic crowds, and his songs continue to be heard decades after they were released. In the 1960s, a real musical revolution took place. Bands like the Beatles forever changed the way music was produced and consumed. With unforgettable melodies and boundless creativity, the group has become one of the greatest cultural phenomena in history. At the same time, the legendary The Rolling Stones brought a bolder and more energetic sound. Known for their rebellious attitude and electrifying performances, they helped define rock's image for several generations. In the 1970s, rock music reached new heights. Led Zeppelin impressed the world with powerful riffs and epic songs that influenced countless artists. His performances became legendary, and his legacy lives on to this day. Another band that won fans in all corners of the planet was Pink Floyd. With concept albums and stunning visual spectacles, they show that rock could also be a profound artistic experience. Soon after, the phenomenon called Queen appeared, combining extraordinary musical talent, creativity, and the unforgettable stage presence of Freddie Mercury. The band has created some of the greatest anthems in music history. In the 1980s, groups like Bon Jovi and Guns N' Roses dominated radio and stadiums. His songs became symbols of a generation and remain popular to this day. The 1990s brought a new sound with bands like Nirvana, led by Kurt Cobain. They helped create the grunge movement and profoundly influenced Moderna music. It is also impossible to ignore the impact of Metallica, who brought heavy rock to a global audience and became one of the most successful bands of all time. Each of these bands left a unique mark on history. Their music has crossed borders, languages, and generations, uniting people through a passion for rock. Today, decades after his greatest hits, his songs continue to echo across cars, radio, festivals, and digital platforms. They are proof that true rock never goes away. He just finds new generations ready to turn up the volume and continue the story. Imagine a time when music was very different from what we know today. In the early 1950s, the United States was experiencing a period of economic growth. But young people were looking for something that represented their own identity. It was in this scenario that rock and roll was born, a genre that would forever change American culture. Rock emerged from a mixing of various popular musical styles of time, especially African American blues, rhythm and blues, gospel, and country music. The result was a vibrant sound, full of energy and impossible to ignore. For the first time, millions of young people found a song that seemed to speak directly to them. Quickly, rock and roll spread to radio stations across the country. The fast-paced beats, guitar solos, and lyrics celebrating youth won over an entire generation. While many parents considered that song too rebellious, teenagers saw it as a symbol of freedom and independence. With the emergence of artists such as Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and Buddy Holly, the genre ceased to be just a musical novelty and turned into a real cultural movement. Their dress styles, hairstyles, and attitudes came to be imitated by young people throughout the country. Film and television also played a key role. Movies and music shows have brought rock to millions of American homes. For the first time, an entire generation shared the same idols, the same songs, and the same dreams. During the 1960s and 1970s, rock music evolved to reflect major social changes in the United States. Many songs address themes such as freedom, peace, equality, and social transformation. Gender has become one of the main forms of expression of American youth. The impact was so profound that rock and roll influenced much more than music. It transformed fashion, language, entertainment, and even the way young people related to society. Rock helped create a Moderna cultural identity based on creativity, individuality, and the search for new ideas. Over the years, new styles have emerged, new bands have appeared, and new generations have embraced the genre. But the essence remained the same: the celebration of freedom of expression and passion for music. Today, rock and roll is considered one of the United States' greatest cultural contributions to the world. His songs across borders inspired millions of artists and remain the soundtrack to countless lives. More than a musical genre, rock has become part of the American identity itself. A story built by musicians, fans, and entire generations who found in that sound a way to change the world, one guitar at a time. As rock and roll consolidated, it came to occupy a special place in the hearts of Americans. It didn't matter if one lived in a big city or in a small inland community. Rock was present everywhere. Radio stations played his hits daily, stores sold millions of records, and young people gathered to share their passion for music. During the 1980s, rock music became one of the greatest symbols of American popular culture. Major tours crisscrossed the country, filling arenas and stadiums. Music videos brought artists into the homes of families, turning musicians into globally recognized celebrities. At the same time, rock continued to evolve. New styles were constantly emerging, each reflecting the challenges and dreams of its time. The genre demonstrated a unique ability to reinvent itself without losing its essence. In the 1990s, a new generation of musicians brought more personal and emotional themes to their songs. Rock returned to represent the feelings of youth, talking about identity, challenges, and changes in an increasingly connected world. But perhaps rock and roll's greatest legacy has been its ability to bring people together. At concerts, festivals, and music events, thousands of fans from different backgrounds would gather to sing the same songs. Rock has created a universal language based on emotion, energy, and authenticity. Its impact can also be seen in fashion. Leather jackets, band t-shirts, jeans, and long hair have become symbols of entire generations. The lifestyle associated with rock influenced not only the United States, but the whole world. In addition, the genre has opened doors for numerous artists and musical movements. From hard rock to punk, from grunge to metal, many Moderna styles were born directly from the influence of the original rock and roll. Today, even in an era dominated by new technologies and different musical trends, rock remains present. His songs are rediscovered by young people every year. Classic albums continue to sell, and songs released decades ago still thrill crowds. Rock and roll didn't just accompany American history, it helped write it. It was a soundtrack of social changes, of historical moments, and of millions of personal stories. And maybe that's exactly why rock never goes away. Because more than chords and lyrics, it represents something that crosses generations. The human desire to express oneself, to dream and to live intensely. Decade after decade, the sound of guitars continues to echo, reminding the world that the spirit of rock and roll remains alive, and that its history is still being written. before you leave your participation. If you enjoyed this trip through the history of rock and roll, do not forget to leave your like. This helps the channel continue bringing incredible content about music, culture, and great moments that have marked generations. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss upcoming videos full of trivia, fascinating stories, and rare images from the past. And now we want to know your opinion. Which rock band or artist marked your life? Leave your answer in the comments and share your memories with other music lovers. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Until then, turn up the volume and keep the spirit of rock and roll alive.